welcome back to the channel. I've got a little bit of a tale to tell you regarding the lorry sat-nav I've used over the last 4.5, 5 years. It's been absolutely perfect up until our last trip. I never even checked the route because it's never taken us on little narrow roads or anything like that. It's been absolutely perfect. It's one of those cheap sat-navs you can buy off eBay. I think they're about 45 quid. It's biggish screen, and you can put all your sizes in your motorhome, your height, your width and your weight and everything else. So we went down motorway, perfect, everything else were alright, until it told us to turn off at this certain junction, and I should have actually taken a note, but it says no HGVs, but it didn't give you a weight limit, a width limit or anything like that. It just says no HGVs. And my van's under 3.5 tonnes, so I thought, well, it must be alright. And it started off perfect. But what I'll do now is I'll show you the journey we did and some of the tight little places it took us through. It did go to Henley on Thames caravan club site, but I did have some war wounds on the roof at motorhome from some low trees, etc. And there were cars parked and it was struggle to get past in places. But I'll give you a quick view of what the video was like going along these roads. Like I say, we started off perfect and all of a sudden things went downhill. Right, we'll get on and show you the video now. Okie dokie, see you later on, bye for now. Here we are driving down the M40. And it's telling us to take the next turning, which is the A40. So, like I say, we've never ever faltered this sat-nav. It's been very good over the last 4.5 years. So here we are, we're coming up to the junction and we're going to turn off left here as it says. Doesn't give you any more warnings regarding narrow roads or anything. So at the end of this road it's telling me to turn right, which of course I do. And this goes over the motorway and leads you to the village. So we travel along and just about noticed there, not suitable for heavy goods vehicles. Nothing about weight limit, width limit, height limit, etc. So as you can see, we're driving along this road. It looks a decent road. Everything's alright until we leave the village. And it's still quite wide road as we go along, and gets a bit more trees overhanging, but not too bad a road. So naturally you think perfect for the width of the motorhome and the height of the motorhome. So we carry on along this road, and as you may notice, there wasn't anywhere to turn around once we got onto this road. So now we're a little bit further down the road. As you can see, it's still a fairly wide road. We get to this little place here and then it starts to narrow a little bit. 30 miles an hour, of course, and still got double white lines in the middle of the road. Lovely little village. Oh, it's a lovely little scenic route, this one. Everything's alright. Then we start to get a little bit narrower here in places, but still not too bad. I'm taking it carefully. Nice little pub on the left there. And we come to an area where there's quite a few cars parked. I think it's a very popular walking area because it's like the Chiltern Hills and that, etc. So yeah, everything's going lovely. We'll go on a bit further up road now. Right, so now we come to a narrow bit of the road which is just wide enough for one vehicle, and there's hedges both sides, but still fit quite nicely down it. At least that car waited for us to go through. And we're back to centre white line again. So that bit wasn't too bad. So we'll go a bit further down the road again. As you can see, we're passing through some lovely countryside and some nice little villages. And here we come to another narrow bit. Not too bad there. So we carry on. It is getting a little bit narrower on the road, but still no problem. So we'll go a bit further down the road again. Right, so we're still lines here, then it comes down, it starts to narrow down to a single track lane here, but there's also not many passing places for the wider vehicle as well. So you can see the trees are starting to overhang a little bit more, and the road's getting a bit narrower. Still beautiful countryside though, must admit. We've got this cyclist in front, and he's keeping well in front of me, so you can see how slow I'm going. But everything seems to be alright. It's quite a quiet road, I thought. There's one or two little places where you can pull in, but nothing major. As you can see, the trees are getting lower as well. And we come up to some parked cars here. Quite easily passable actually, not too bad at all. Right, so we carry on, and this road stops quite narrow for quite a bit. So we'll move up the road a bit more. Right, so as you can see a little bit further up the road, it's widened out a bit. And we're coming up to a junction soon. And it's telling us to turn left. So we're coming into another little village. So we carry along through the little village a bit. And it gets narrow in places. And this is where we clob at top at motorhome. Then sat-nav tells us to take a right turn at last minute, so I missed that turn in there. So I've had to go down to this junction and do a wider sweep onto the road. So looks like we're back onto a decentish road again. That's until we get a bit further down this road. We'll jump down this road a bit more. So a bit further up the road we're coming to another lovely little village. Still enjoying the scenery and that. Some beautiful buildings. Then we come to a few parked cars there, which isn't too bad. Enough room to pass. And then we come to what I think is a very, very, very popular pub, which leaves us a bit of a tight squeeze to get through. Just wait for this car to come through. And oops, it looks clear, so we'll go for it. So as you can see, there's quite a few cars parked down here. Beautiful little pub on the right there. You can see why it's very popular. And we drive through, and it does get, there's a big four-wheel drive here, it just makes a bit of a tight squeeze to get through. Quite a tight squeeze as well. And we're back going up quite a narrow road again. Then we come to some more parked cars here. And we've got nowhere to go, but this car insists on keep on coming and then stops at middle of the road. So we asked him to go back because he's only got to go back about a couple of cars and there were spaces. We couldn't go any further to the left. As you can see, there's two beer barrels with plants in there, and he would not move. No way would he move. He kept coming. I was near enough brushing against these
beer barrels there, but managed to get through. You can see this bloke looking aghast at what's going off. All he had to do was pull over to where that silver car was. So we cleared that okay without any damage, luckily. And then we actually see a signpost round the corner for Henley on Thames. Yes, marvellous. So we'll drive up the road a little bit more. Actually, the dash cam doesn't show you sort of how narrow these roads are. It looks a lot wider than what it was. But we're coming to a really narrow bit here, and my wing mirrors or my rear view mirrors were only touching these hedgerows. But we got through it okay. I'm glad there was nothing coming the other way. And we moved back out of a single track road, back up to a road with white lines in the middle, which is still quite narrow. I'm still over the white lines with the driver's side. So we'll move up the road a little bit more. Right, so we drove quite a bit again on with white lines, but driver's side was still over the white lines. Now we come to part of a single track again, which doesn't look as narrow on the dash cam as what it was when we were driving. It is a bit of a tight squeeze, as you can see. There isn't many pulling places to let people pass or to pass other vehicles, oncoming vehicles. But we got through it again. It does widen up a little bit better here, but then you get hedgerows grown in again. Just luckily there wasn't much coming the other way. Like I say, it's beautiful countryside, but I never thought a sat nav ascended down these roads. But we got through it nearly unscathed. Now we're back to a wider part of the road. So we'll drive a little bit further up road now. Right, so here we are again, back to a single track road. Very tall hedges either side of it. And that car very kindly gave way to us to come out of there. As you can see, the trees are quite low on this road. So we did have a few more scrapings on top of the roof as we were going along. Right, we're back to the wide part of the road now again. We'll move further up road again. Right, now we're a bit further up road. As you can see, going back to another narrow part of the road with overhanging trees and hedgerows either side again. Thank you, that car gave way to us, thank you very much. And we'll soon be entering into a little village. You see they're quite, looks, like I say, it looks a lot wider than what it was originally driving it. But there's no way I'd have done 40 mile an hour through here. There's just nowhere, apart from people's drives, to sort of pull over to let the oncoming traffic pass or come past you. This is quite a longish stretch actually. As you can see, we've got some good overhanging trees again here and some good hedgerows. Now we're back to wider part of road again, so we'll go a bit further up road again. Right, so this road has been quite wide. I've been able to keep on my own side of the road without going over the white line. Coming up to some parked cars now. As you can see, there's a bit of room. This car's coming along, giving way to him. And all of a sudden he stops and has a conversation with this person outside the road. I've no idea why. No thank yous or nothing, so I've no idea why. So we pass all these parked cars, some nice person ends waiting patiently for us. And eventually, at the end of this road, we actually get back on to a main road into Henley on Thames. Right, so here we are, we're at a road junction now that takes you onto the A4155, and a big sigh of relief to see we were back on an A road, which led us into Henley on Thames. So I'm not sure 100% why this motorhome, with all the sizes and everything else, decided to take us down those little narrow roads. But I've learnt a lesson now that prior to going somewhere I don't know, I will definitely check that he doesn't take us down any unnamed roads. Right, so we're driving along nicely, and it'll not be long before we arrive at Henley on Thames Caravan and Motorhome Club site. So we'll zoom down road a little bit more. So here we are now, we're getting close to Henley on Thames, and it's been a nice road to drive on this. After them, I think they're about 7 or 8 miles I think we'd have done those narrow roads. And just coming up on the right here is the turning to Henley on Thames Caravan and Motorhome Club site. Right, so once you've turned in, you'll drive straight up to the barrier. The barrier goes up automatically, and bear left and reception's on your right. So here we are, we made it to Henley on Thames Caravan and Motorhome Club site. There's 2 arrival points there, and they prefer you to ring them on a mobile to check in, etc. Once you've checked in, you can go and choose your pitch, etc. Right, we made it safely here.
Right, so as you can tell, some of those roads weren't ideal for my motorhome. So the next time I use it, I will be checking the route, definitely checking the route. Because like I said, I chose, when I got to the site, I chose 4 selections. You're economical, you're short, you're fast, and what, I forget what the one is. But they all took me down these same unnamed roads. I cannot understand why it sent me down those, but it's a lesson learnt. Right, I hope you like this little video. It's not one of my top 5 accessories now for my motorhome. I shall certainly be checking my route on on the map or something like that to make sure it doesn't take me any one of those roads. Right, so don't forget, if you like this little video, give that little thumbs up, and also if you're not subscribed and you checked out my channel and you like what's on my channel, please consider subscribing, and also clicking that little notification bell to tell you when I've uploaded some more videos. Right, we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye.